Thomas?
Well, three things to point out already at the very beginning, which is a really good promise. Number one, the Matrix sound is in the back, which would be a really cool thing if they play that sound throughout the entire throughout the entire movie while he's in the Matrix, to give you the sense that it is the Matrix, definitely in the Matrix. But maybe the sound becomes more apparent each and every single time. That would be kind of interesting. Number two, they have the cat, the same cat from Matrix 1. Good job on that little detail, because I would have caught that if I did not read that in the comment section. I watched it, didn't catch it. Read in the comment section, somebody said, "Oh, it's the same cat." Yes, it is! Yay! Or at least the same sound of the cat. I don't know if it's the same. It has the same collar or anything. It's the same black cat though, so great detail. Number three. Thomas. Neo, Mr. Anderson. Thomas, I think it's Thomas A. Anderson, or Thomas something Anderson, doesn't matter. His middle name is unimportant. Thomas is the first name of Mr. Anderson, Neo. How is this a thing? Because here's one great question. He is older than his younger self. So either at the time, I think this is a 20-year gap between the third Matrix and this one. It might be, if not 10 to 20 years. He's been trapped in a new Matrix. He is either in a new Matrix that is a copy of his old self, but is the memory of the prior Neo. It is the same Neo. No, let me rephrase that. It's not the same Neo. It is a new Neo that the One, if anybody remembers, and hopefully I have this correct, the One is the remainder of all the mathematical calculations inside of the Matrix that is the remaining number. The remaining number is 1. 1, him, is the thing that needs to go back into the system for the system to be complete. And there were 6 iterations, I think, prior to Neo, if him being number 7 or number 6. And this is probably a new Neo. This is probably a new Mr. Anderson of the same character, and every single iteration of the Matrix is this. That would be interesting. That would be probably the best way you could do it. Because each system of Neo, each Matrix system that is uploaded, there is, all of the same people are the same, but how can they do that if they are based off their physical character, their physical body that's making the image of who they are? That's kind of weird. So it's that, okay, I have no idea.
You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Awesome. Wait, so all of those images were from the prior 3 movies? Or were some of those images in this movie? Because one of them was of him waking up from the egg, from the pod. How do we answer that?
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
You have at least got to admit that a rubber ducky on top of Keanu Reeves' head is a worthwhile movie to go watch, regardless of whether or not the movie's going to be good. I want to see the rubber ducky on top of Keanu Reeves' head.
Hi.
Trinity, what's her actor's name? What's the actress's name? I'm going to look that up here right quick. Because I think there was some hassle or some beef with her and Keanu at some point when they were doing some of the filming, because she didn't like the fact that she was naked during the sex scene. I think it was in the second movie. Might have been the second movie. Could have been the third, but I thought it was in the second movie. I think there was some rumors, or she didn't have an issue, but the fact that she came back for a Matrix 4, how much money are they doing? Well, actually, here's the thing, is that if there was an offer to... Here's actually a really good question. If you're part of a sequel, if you're part of a movie franchise, and you say no, wouldn't you have like some need to do it emotionally? Like, I put all this time, energy, and effort, and I want to go and try to like keep helping this thing grow. Because if you don't take the job, they'll probably hire someone else. So they might just change the story a little bit just to fit it that way. So if you don't take the $20,000, it could be $20 million. I have no idea how much money they're making. It could, however much money you're making from it. If you say no, they'll just go with a cheaper option, right? Because they only need Keanu to make this movie work. Having Trinity is a bonus because just how much emphasis is on Neo, on Keanu Reeves.
Have we met? One.
Again, blue pills, lots of blue pills, an overabundance of blue pills. Oh, the scenery's blue, his wardrobe is blue, the atmosphere is blue. I'm blue, dabba dee dabba da, dabba dee dabba da, dabba da dee dabba da. Everything's blue. Again, why are they doing it this way? Why are they doing it this way? I'm so curious, because if he's pulled back in a new Matrix versus he's a new Neo, but how can that work if they don't have themselves attached to their physical bodies? Again, this is where it's like, okay, are they going to make this into a trans allegory? Because I know it's kind of a random thought. The creators of this, the Wachowski brothers, transitioned 10 years ago, and they're now the Wachowski sisters, and it's all about, and it was originally a trans allegory. The entire Matrix franchise was originally a trans allegory. I don't know how it can be a trans allegory when you have Christ being an image of just epic proportions at the very end of being a crux of it all. Doesn't seem to be a trans allegory. It seems to be somebody saving humanity. But whatever. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting question. So he believes he is in a dream? He's having a weird... Is this the type of attitude he was having in Matrix 1 before Trinity, not knocked... I think it was... No, Trinity was at the club. Trinity didn't knock on the door. It was Follow the White Rabbit. Follow the Rabbit, and we're going to see that in the trailer. So was he having these moments before he was questioning... who Morpheus is to ultimately what is the Matrix and being awakened to it? Or is he being forced to be asleep and the Matrix is fighting against that? Again, other than Agent Smith, and all the agents were the Matrix, are the enforcers of trying to keep things in check.
Makes you small, and the ones
birds flying in a certain way, all the people attached to their phones probably being locked into the system. He's the only one that's looking up and looking around. It's a good analogy. It's what I would... it's what I would do. Therefore, it's good. It's just... seems to make sense. And all the people in the elevator above, everybody's on their phones, everybody's plugged in. Oh! Wait. Oh! I thought that was like an elevator upon an elevator. That's a mirror. Yeah, that's a mirror. I didn't see that before. Okay, because when I, again, just a first glance at it, it looked like there were like an elevator on top of an elevator on top of an elevator, so it was just like maybe a continuous, they have those type of never-ending elevators. You just like hop on and then you hop off. It's kind of dangerous. Kind of dangerous if you're not quick enough. I thought it was that, but no, that's actually a mirror on top. But I guess, again, that's a really good analogy as well.
don't do anything at all.
Why do you have that many pills? That's a dangerous amount of pills to have.
Go ask Alice.
The Wonderland going down the rabbit hole? Mm-hmm.
When
Is that the Oracle? My bet's that that's the Oracle. That's the new Oracle. Okay, so now I'm having an issue here. Did Thomas Anderson, Neo, Mr. Anderson, did Neo, when he was sacrificed, he was put into another person's body but has the same mind? That's really how this can only make sense the way that it is, else it's just a dream. If I really hope to be, bewildered and baffled by how they do this, because The Matrix, even though we've already seen it before, I don't think there's a lot of people that would have guessed how it would have actually played out before it came out. We have a lot of the understanding and knowledge of how maybe some sci-fi or some movies might do what they do because of The Matrix. Yeah, because The Matrix did what they did, because they came out with what they came out with. Some of the plot is, we have the thinking of that because the plot of that affected a lot of cinema today. It affected so much of what cinema is today. Again, good or bad, it's just it did.
She's 10 feet.
It's just like with Avatar. Again, now that's an interesting thing. I'm really glad that I paused it right here. So, my guess is that Neo, Thomas Anderson, Neo actually took over someone else's body when he was sacrificed at the end of movie 3. From going into a new Matrix that was probably reinvigorated for the next generation, which is what we see at the very, very last scene in Matrix 3, is the Oracle and the Architect are talking to each other there's a rainbow in the back with the sun shining. Seems to be a new iteration. So he was probably downloaded into that new system with his body being physically destroyed. Which, again, going with the trans analogy, a trans allegory of the Wachowski brothers, not sisters, because, transgenderism is an ideology, and that's a whole slew of things that we could really talk about. That's probably where the analogy is going to be. You feel like a different person in someone else's body. If they don't make it blunt, if they don't make it so on the nose, and they just make it with the character and that questioning, by all means, make the movie. I think it'll do phenomenal. I think that it'll be a respectful play on the original 3. Even though it's created by the same creators, doesn't matter whether or not the same creators make it. Was the creator respectful to the old content? So.
Time to fly.
Now, why is it that they have... Why is Morpheus different? The only thing which I could really think about, and I think this is true, he is in a new body. The new body is the new generation. And Morpheus, this is who this world's Morpheus looks like. A little bit different than the last one. But this Morpheus looks the same. The Matrix in of itself allows this type of system. It's just a good rhythm, a repeat, a rhyme, or a rhythm, whatever the word is. I think it's wonderful. Again, you could have the Oracle going down the rabbit trail. You have her, but why him? And then you have, why is Trinity looking exactly like Trinity? Why is that there? Or is it specifically that Neo is thrusting, or he's manipulating, or he's controlling, or he's doing something to the Matrix to have someone look like Trinity? Or it's a new it's a different person, but he thinks this woman is Trinity, believes that she is Trinity. Takes the red pill. Again, from the director Lana Wachowski. That was a guy, not a woman. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get so much shade for that.
Want the truth, Neo? You're going to have to fly me.
Why specifically? Again, follow the White Rabbit, but again, you seem like a new character. In the first Matrix, you had a person, I don't know if it was the same, Asian lady, but you had the White Rabbit tattoo on someone, and then follow the White Rabbit, he followed them. Now it's kind of blatant. It's like, this seems to be the first Matrix, the entire Matrix trilogy, but okay.
The only thing that matters to you is still here.
Wait, how? You going through that thing doesn't mean what you... In the first Matrix, he touched the liquid, and the liquid encapsulated his entire body. How can you just walk through this one? I might be missing something here, but it's just... It's a little bit of a change, but why? But okay, anything could be whatever.
I know it's why you're still fighting, and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
Okay, so I don't get this. So Keanu Reeves, Neo, Keanu Reeves is Neo. Doesn't matter whether or not he likes that, he is. Neo knows that he is Neo, or this is just a fast track of the first movie so they can move on to make it more cinematic. We have better graphics so we can do different things with it. One of the things that was really wonderful about the first Matrix is that it wasn't fast-paced, 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 fast-paced. There were moments in that had that, but I think this movie might be a bit more akin to that. I hope that they just have a few high intense moments. It was primarily about the build-up. It was primarily about the characterization. It was primarily about setting up the world. But we already know the world, so we have to focus on another thing. So it's just, what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with it? Again, great animation. Yep, all the pods. So wait, so Trinity is not awakened. She's of the Matrix because there were some green glowy things, the Matrix symbols that were going down her face after he went through the portal. So is Trinity real, or he is remembering Trinity and he's bringing her into this world and he's manipulating this world to make his own Trinity so he can have the love of his life here? It's kind of a curious question there. Curiosity there. That's okay. That works. You have the agents, which again, it's like they've already been defeated, but this seems to be a new generation. So this is the next generation, not of next generation, the upgraded Smiths. This is an entirely new world that was created, that was set up in Matrix 3. Okay, this seems to be more of a confirmation for that. This is the next world that was created for all of humanity while they're still on the pods. Neo has been downloaded for some reason, or has been copied as a mistake for whatever reason. No idea. See, like right there, but let's go back to that. See, this is what I want to see more of. Now, is that Trinity? Okay, when you shave anybody's head off, shave anybody's head off. When you shave anybody's hair off, people often start looking the same. So I apologize. At least to me they do. Is this Trinity or is this Neo? Because that looks like either Trinity or Neo. That looks like a little bit more like Trinity. I might be wrong. Might be a completely different person. But that's just what I'm going with. This is the framework that which I have. But this is the type of movie that I want to see more of. I want to see more of the slow CGI drama rather than having those fast-paced action scenes. Fast-paced action scenes might be very good for the eye, but I want to see a bit more slow development that builds up the momentum if you're going to be creating a new movie. Are you creating a new movie because you want to create another 3 movies, or are you creating a movie because it's primarily because of political affiliation of a trans allegory? It's like, I have it create a new movie because the movie is actually, because the plot that demands it, or like people demand it, or something demands it. Don't just, like, other than just trans. It's like, okay, please don't gayify my movie, please. The franchise in which that I love. Oh my goodness. Okay. This actually says a whole heck of a lot. It looks like there's 2 different women here. It looks like 2 different women. One is Trinity. One is the woman that she probably got taken over, whether or not Neo had anything to do with downloading her memories, her thoughts, making her into the Trinity that he wanted her to be. That could be something. Again, a trans allegory. Which again, if it works, I think this works. I think this works. This is actually a really good scene, but this says so much about the movie. Again, that was actually a really good thing. We'll probably see Morpheus. I think that's this world's Morpheus. I don't know if that was the same guy. He's bald. All Morpheuses are bald, and all bald people are Morpheuses. Morphosi. You put them all together, they're a Morphi. Morphify. Morphosi? Morsify. Anyways, this is probably something him describing how he got out of the Matrix, but how did he do it on by himself? Did he do it with other people? Was he the first of this collection, this gaggle or gang that's helping people get out of the Matrix? Kind of curious. Okay, that was a little weird. I mean, that makes a little... no, that was actually kind of interesting. It's different. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just it's very different than what I thought it would be. Let's play that again. Okay, the doorway I think is like this. So this is the top, but their head is at the bottom, and they do a flip to make themselves upright. Yeah, I think that was a Smith. Yeah, Smith, and then. Ooh, wait a second here. This is Morpheus, maybe, potentially. Morpheus, who was also a Smith? And the Smith was awakened? Or he just looks... Why is he dressed the way that he's dressed? Specifically in this film, he looks like a Smith. So, again, they're going to make him into a... what's the guy's name that nobody cares about anymore? About the movie trilogy that killed the entire franchise. Star Wars. Finn. I think his name's Finn. Poe? Finn. Let's go with Finn. I don't know which one of those. We'll go with Finn. Finn, a black stormtrooper, black Morpheus. The majority of the Smiths that we saw, if not 100% of them, were all white. Well, primarily that was because of Agent Smith, not just of the agents, but him specifically. Is he an agent? He can't be an agent if he doesn't have a physical body to come out of too, unless you're taking over another person's body. And what type of repercussions does that have? If we're gonna just bypass over that one aspect of, I'm a Smith, I have no body that's real, but I want to have my own body. But how does that make any sense if they use a body that is human and make them into a Smith? That's stupid. That's wrong, if that's the case. Ooh, we might have a flaw here. Why not just have Morpheus being a regular guy running away from the Smiths, rather than trying to... Please don't movie, please do not make it where he has any connection with being a Smith. Because that's going to be a big issue. Not because he's black, but him taking over somebody else's body, which again, coming out and said very recently that The Matrix is a trans allegory from the creators of the movie franchise, the Wachowski brothers, Lily Wachowski, now a trans, came out and said that it's a trans allegory. Please do not make it where it's acceptable for you to go harbor another person's body. Like, please make that an issue. It is wrong to harbor someone else's body without their consent. Or if you do have that, please reconcile. You can have it where they're at odds and they're at issues, or even the knowledge of, oh, I took over somebody else's body. I might be having some issues here that might be so unsubstantiated. But am I wrong? Please put in the comment section of I need some reasonability here. I don't know if I'm too far out of bounds, or I'm kind of going on the straight and narrow here. So he is in the suit. But again, there's lots of him being able to do this at the end of the movie, but now he's able to do this. But this isn't Neo. That is Neo. But then Trinity is aware of, when is this? Why is it literally just a repeat of the first Matrix? It better have, and I'm shaking my fist with fury. It better have some reason as to why there is a repeat of the plot of the first movie. Again, if you can stop bullets, why can't you just, send them flying or just delete them? Okay, why not just... You're hypnotized, whatever. Oof. I manipulate the body, or this physical stuff. Yeah, it's if you're able to do this right now and you remember who you are, do you still remember who you are at this point if you're able to stop bullets? It's am I able to, you mean I can dodge bullets? What I'm saying, Neo, is that once you become aware, or once you become awakened, you won't have to. That was That was a slogan. That was the thing. You will become Neo. You are the one when you don't have to dodge bullets anymore. So is he now aware of that, or is this just something that he can do? He flew in the first movie. He was flying around in the first movie. Is he going to be flying at the end of this movie? Is he going to be flying in the middle? Like, how do you not know? Or is it just, I don't know who it is that I am, and he has amnesia, but he's able to do all these things? And no, I might be kind of going a little bit too off the rails on this one. I might be going off the rails on this one. This might actually be a legitimate scene. When you have bullets flying at a person and at you, you're able to stop them. You don't know why you're able to stop them. You just, whoa, and then you stop them. You don't send them back. You just stop them, and they run away or whatever. They probably defeat the officers or whatever. This can work. This can work. Okay, I need to bring it down. Bring it down. This could work. I'm wrong. This could work. Okay, so after all that explosion, there are only possibilities that you're able to fly after this. If you're able to fly, do you know who you are? Or you're the first person to be awakened, or you're not the first person to be awakened because, again, the Morpheus thing. But Morpheus isn't the first person to be awakened because the Asian blue-haired lady, whatever, was the one that woke him up. Following the White Rabbit. I don't know. No, that brings up. Oh, man, that's just.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started, back to the Matrix.
Who is he? Why is he? Why does he bring up the Matrix? Is it a confrontation with him being the bad guy, or is he just a random person a random entity that kind of pops in and has his own agenda within the Matrix, doing his own thing, but is not part of the Matrix? That would be kind of interesting. Again, an Agent Smith that wants to do his own thing, ruling the world in which he wants to rule by, but he can't bend the world. He can just manipulate it and influence people's actions. Or it's like he's very self-aware that the Matrix is what it is, and he can probably, manipulate some of the glitches that probably pop up every once in a while, but he can't actually manipulate the Matrix itself. That'd be kind of an interesting little character you could pop into if you want to create a new character. There's so many things that you could do with this. Let's watch to the very, very end. I think that was the rest. The Matrix, Reloaded, and that's it. Okay. I think it will be a good movie. I don't think that it being a trans allegory, and I'm going to preface this, I'm going to mention this again. There are gay people, and then there's the LGBTQ AAIP organization. If I disagree with the political or policies that are being enforced by a group of people with funding and a certain amount of values and ideology that is associated with a sexuality, and I disagree with those policies or ideologies, therefore I must disagree with the gay person themselves. There's two distinct things here going on: a sexuality, a political organization. If I disagree with this narrative that's an ideology that's trying to be imposed upon the culture, then therefore I must be against a gay person. That is wrong. I am against transgenderism because it changes certain truths about reality. So I want to actually go into the IMDb of The Matrix. Oh. Okay. That was, The Matrix. Lily Wachowski. Director, writer, and producer Lily Wachowski was born in 1967 in Chicago, the daughter of Lynn. Let me say that again. The daughter of... He's not a daughter. He's a guy. He's a son. He's the son who pretends and believes themselves to be a woman. Your definition of what a woman is if one, a woman is what, it's ultimately going to come down to whatever you want it to be. Which that is bullshit. That is retarded. Any person who has that belief system cannot make me have any other position because it's whatever you want it to be. But I'm wrong, objectively. But objectively, it's whatever you want it to be. I'm not wrong. I'm not hateful because I identify as being loving with my position. So again, person who ultimately has anything can be whatever you want it to be, but if you disagree with me, you're going to jail. It's like, nah, fuck off. No, you're not the loving, kind person you believe yourself to be. Yeah, you're just a bully, and, you justify yourself doing bully tactics, but you believe and identify yourself to be holier than thou. So, when you use the word daughter, you're not a daughter, you're a son. You identify as a woman. That is a different thing than an actual woman. In MMA, there is a transgender woman who is biologically male who beat the crap out of a woman. Any single person who believes that was correct, fuck off. You're not helping the culture. You hate women. Oh, I love women so much, I'm convincing them to abort their baby. Fuck off. You're not part of the good culture. Get the heck out of here, you parasite. It's amazing. I'm sorry if that's your position. You can be trans and conservative. You can be trans and an independent thinker. You can be trans and a Christian, which kind of conflicts a little bit. Quite a bit, actually. But you can be these different things with different ideologies. Yes. But there is transgenderism, the ideology of the transgender. Which, again, there's one gender and a second gender. And there's all the other genders that you just want to identify as. It's like, well, what makes you that gender? It's how I feel. Okay, I feel like a woman today. I, as a trans person, because all you have to do is identify it. Oh, but you don't physically make yourself. How long do you have to be a transgender to actually start having transgender opinions, or can you start speaking against certain transgender ideologies? It's like, well, again, it's such a convoluted mess that ultimately comes down to it's whatever you think and feel. That's the basis. That's the basis, is whatever you think and feel. But whatever your thoughts and feelings can be wrong. There's an objective truth outside of ourselves. There's an objective sexuality that is objectively better than all the other sexualities. Objectively, yes. And if you say, like, well, who am I to decide these things? Because I don't have a certain authority, I don't have a certain label, I don't have a certain degree, therefore my opinion is by default already debunked. My position's already squashed. You're not a certain person, therefore shut up. It's like, oh, well, that's stupid. Oh, okay. Well, again, fuck off. Your culture sucks. Please do not infest the culture with that. Please don't. Please do not harm other people. Love does no harm to neighbor. Yes, love does no harm to neighbor. Should I be flipping people off? No. Is Lily Wachowski a man? Yes. Like, I can be wrong, and there can still be an objective truth that's outside of ourselves. Amazing. Anyways, I really hope that this movie, is just keeps in lines with the original movie, but please, for the love of all goodness gracious, please do not use transgenderism into this movie, which it already has. Because both the brothers, now sisters, again, what's a woman? Well, it's whatever you feel like. Well, your feelings can be wrong. And boom, debunked, done. Your feelings can be wrong. So, I don't want your rights to be taken away. You have the right to smoke cigarettes. Smoking cigarettes is wrong. Like, oh, who am I to judge somebody's cigarette smoking? You think cigarette smoking is a good thing? Wow, you're retarded. Like, it's just, okay, practice smoking. Smoke cigarettes, whatever. I don't care. Please don't vote, though. Like, oh, I shouldn't vote. Why? It's whatever I want it to be. I'm objectively as equal to you. In my thoughts, in my feelings, in my actions, all of it's equal to whatever. Oh, man, I stopped being agnostic and atheistic a long time ago. A long time ago, I mean about a year. No work with myself. All glory to God. That's all I will say about that. Thank you very much for being a part of this. I'm certain I probably poked the cattle with some iron hot rods here. So this would be kind of interesting to put out. So thank you very much for being a part of this, and I'll see you next time.